Right, recording on the Foxeer Legend 3. So, a little quick walk round what I've done with the Nano Talon. So, this is not the final incarnation, this is just to get it flying, give me an idea of what I'm going to be looking at. But ultimately, it's going to get the Omnibus F3 with the OSD, is it the F4 even? F4 Omnibus, the V2 with the current sensor in it. But anyway, for now, she's stock. So I flew it earlier today, and I've got the little mini Mobius, thinking a nice light camera, maybe help out with the nose. I put the VTX out back, and probably I'm going to put it out back ultimately, simply because if I can keep the weight out the back, then that allows me to have more weight up the front. I've also got a lightweight little micro camera in there. I'm going to have to do something with that because it's not far enough forward at the minute. It's situated in there, look. It's not far enough forward, and I'm getting too much of the foam surround, and it's a strange view. It's not a particularly good view, so I either need to cut some of that foam away, or cut some of the foam away inside and push it further forward. There's just a dab of hot glue at the minute holding that there. Well, what else? So at the minute there's a 1300 4S in there, and that balances where it is. So there is scope to put a bigger battery a little bit further back. So I've got some 1800 4 cells, which ultimately for a good distance is what I'm planning to use. At the minute there's an L9R in there, and that's just stuff roughly in there because I've only been flying it part. I needed to be able to use this little flight stabilizer that's inbuilt into it. I needed to use at least a 5-channel receiver, and I haven't really got many of those. Most of mine are like the XM Plus micros, plus the ones that I've already got in crafts. I have stripped a few now, and I've got a couple of spare, but ultimately, again, with the Omnibus is going to go an XM Plus micro, because I've had 6 kilometers with the wing, so that should be fine. I'm just going to turn the power down on that one. It says, there we go. In fact, I'll turn it off for now because it gets quite warm on the full power. So that's in there, along with the flight stabilizer, stock ESC, and if you notice, I got one of the early ones which doesn't have rudder. I don't know whether to stick with that or not, or whether rudder makes that much difference on this thing. I've not flown it. I have got somewhere, I bought a couple of the little plastic gear, sort of 6-gram servos, so I may well stick them in, replace that one out, so I've got 2 the same. Turn it over, and then under here I've got a little PDB, it's a Maytech mini power hub. I use them on a lot of my quads, but they're also really good in planes. So you probably noticed the green LEDs out the back. There's some of the diatone really bright ones. So that's running off 12 volt. At the minute the camera has got its the Arrow Micro, is it the V3 or whatever it is, that has a voltage indicator in the OSD inbuilt into the camera. So that's feeding off that. Power from the battery, and then the FPV side, and it goes through there and it gets cleaned by this. It's not brilliant, it's not the best, but it's pretty good. Cleans it a lot better than stock anyway. So that goes on there. Stock motor. And the super green lights on the back. So I've weighed her, and with the 4-cell battery and the camera and everything, obviously I don't want to be cutting into any foam until I know exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm not, the wires are just a bit sort of tucked in dirty. But at the minute she's weighing in at 575 grams. It's not that bad. It's still got a pretty good glide, and the 4-cell, I prefer 4-cell with this because it gives it a fair bit better climb rate, because it's not very quick on 3 cells into the wind. In fact, it's dog slow. So that's where I'm at the minute. I had a little flight and I wasn't out long, and the weather turned pretty bad. It started to rain, so I have got some of that footage, so I may put that up. But that's where I'm at the minute. I've been tinkering, messing around with the radio. When I can be arsed, basically, I will get back in the garage and I will have a go at fitting the omnibus, because I think the stock flight controls is not the best. So I think with the omnibus it should be a lot better. With this plane, with the omnibus, it's probably going to be a lot easier to set up actually, if I just have aileron and elevator on that. So I may well stick to that, seeing as I haven't got an ESC in there at the minute. And that way it's only got 2 ESCs, and the wing's been really good with that, because there's less load going through the flight control. I know some people have said that you should power everything externally through a different external 5-volt PDB. But if you're not drawing a lot of current, and the servos in these are tiny, smaller than the 9-gram servos that I've got in the wing, which are metal gear, and the wing's been faultless, so this should be not a problem at all. So I may just do that to begin with. If I feel I'm lacking and it needs a bit more finesse, then I may well upgrade and go to the 2 servos in the tail for the rudder. I have no idea whether it'll make much difference. Anyway, that's where we're at. Bye bye for now.